Morning. So this time we're gonna look at a new model. First look, Serena Bowman. I just bought this model yesterday along with AIDS. But I already did my video on that. So we're gonna go for her. So she's a Wave 5 model, Enforcer, 7 stones. She comes with her Warp Reality upgrade, so we'll just say what that is. For 1 soul stone, you can give it to any Neverborn minion or Enforcer. They get the Nightmare characteristic and From the Shadows. So I believe the Nightmare characters will only matter for Dreamer and for, I think she has something with Nightmares and Black Blood. Yeah, her 0 action. So let's start with her. She's 7 stones. She's 6 defense, which is nice. 5 willpower is fine. 7 wounds, 6 walk, 6 charge, type 2. So she's very fast. Oh, she's very 6 move. It's funny, obviously move high stats is always nice, but you don't sometimes I don't realize like just having walk 6 is like so freaking nice. And so much of like Lilith's crew has walk 6. It's just super sweet. She's disguised, so she can't be charged. I think one of the most underrated abilities in Malifaux. Especially if used as like a roadblock. Because you can put her like in a gap right out in the open. If no one can charge her, then they have to either walk up and kill her. And mixed with her always comes back around. She doesn't drop corpus scrap, whatever. If she's killed or sacrificed at the end of the turn, she summon her in her deployment zone, and she's not slow. So, close deployment, even flank, depending on the game. Sometimes she's just not worth killing. And not only is she not worth killing sometimes, but if she's in the shit with her, she's also immune to pulses. Damage from pulses. But being not chargeable and coming back, sometimes it can feel like a really big waste of VP, AP to kill her, depending on the schemes and strat, obviously. So because she is summoned again, she will count for R's. She does count as dying as far as, Reckoning, Collect the Bounty goes. But for some strats and schemes, like for symbols, it could almost be good if she's like trying to run up there, and then if you try to stop her, she dies, and now she's back in her deployment zone, maybe defending something, stuff like that. You never know. I'll have to play with that part. So on the back, she has a knife attack that's melee 6, 1 inch range, so she's a 7-inch threat. 2, 3, 4, not great damage. An auto built-in trigger after killing the target. If it was an enemy, place a scheme marker in base contact with the target before removing it. This model gains the following condition to end the game. Enemy models must discard a card to target this model with an action, or an action fails. So if you kill an enemy model with this, you basically become almost immune to getting hit by anyone else. It's very hard to. If you discard a card, enemy models must discard a card to target this model. Oh, that's annoying as shit. So if she can get the kill, it's really nice to have the condition on her. It might be hard to get that kill though. And then it's kind of like, it kind of adds on itself in the sense of how it plays out on the board, right? If I had an armor 10 model with 20 wounds and it was and all this shit, if it doesn't do enough else, people just ignore it and it doesn't matter, right? This isn't a game of last man standing or something. Yes, it's great if people try to attack her and, she's not chargeable and they have to ditch a card to attack her and all that, and she comes back if you kill her. And if they just say, well, I'm going to kill the rest of your crew, then she better be doing something that makes her worth her while if they just ignore her. So you have to play her like with that in mind. Which you can certainly. You can be very annoying with her and get her in the shit. She's another 1 action, cast 6, TN10 with the mask, which is built in. So she needs a 4 for it to go off. It's defense range 3, it's 2, 3, 4 damage, and you can do ranged line of sight from any friendly model with Black Blood ability. Interesting. Interesting. So when she gives Black Blood, she actually doesn't give a condition. She gives the ability to the model. Okay. So you can't do it to models with Black Blood condition. I don't know if that actually I don't know if that's a thing. But it's nice. It's interesting that it's labeled here like that. Okay, interesting. Nonetheless, maybe that's always the thing. Maybe that's always the case. I just didn't think about it. So you can't other models can't take this action, so a changeling can't do it, nor can a changeling really couldn't do it anyway because of the built-in mask, but or the mask need. But what's it called? Doppelganger can't copy it. But basically, you basically have 15 inches from her. 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Is that any good? Really? It's the 7-stone model that has a 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the range is nice if like Nekama's in range of the model, you can attack through her. But like, it's nice to get some extra damage through your Black Blood. But is it really like that strong of an ability in general? I don't feel like it's that strong. Like I said, she only does 2, 3, 4 on both her attacks. It's not crazy. Let's see what else she got. Zero action. It's the things I've seen. It needs a 5. It's cast 9, TN 14. I sometimes I don't understand why things have such ridiculous cast numbers, but the TNs are so. I don't know when it matters, but maybe it does. Range of 8. Target friendly nightmare gains the following ability at the end of the game. Black Blood. Basically give Black Blood to somebody, and if you succeed on a crow, so you need 5 of crows. After you succeed, the target a non-nightmare model within 3 inches of original target. So if you started the game with a nightmare and a non-nightmare, and you had a 5 of crows and another 5, you give them both Black Blood for the rest of the game. That's not so. I like Black Blood's ability. I think it's underused. It's tactical, so she can target herself with it. She is not a nightmare, but if she had a nightmare next to her, she could technically do it. And she wouldn't be too bad with it because of the whole disguise comeback shit. Well, the comeback doesn't actually help her. But Bottle of Painkillers is a 1 action, needs a 6 of Rams, range 3. Heals 1, 2, 3, and may end 1 condition on the target. It's only friendly model. The action gains plus Rams if its final dual total so if you target yourself, you automatically get the Rams, which a 1 action to heal 1, 2, 3 on a model that gets summoned back probably isn't that great. I don't think that. I mean, you remove conditions, it's whatever. It's situational condition removal. I'm not gonna bank on that by any means, but I'm not gonna knock it too hard as far as it's shit. So that's fine. So overall, like, I know a lot of people like her. A lot of people like to do the warp reality thing where you give it to like mature Nephilims because you can't do henchmen, so you give it to like mature Nephilims or Teddies or something, and you just scout a bunch of things up and give it to not Hooded Rider, which I guess is weirdly annoying. I mean, it's certainly like aggressive, and probably the reason I don't like it is I don't favor that really aggressive style because I think it's really good players can easily beat it. Not easily, but I think really good players. It puts a lot of onus on. Like, I'll say it this way: it's hard to pull off, but it's only so hard to pull off. Meaning, let's say your skill range is 1 to 10. Pulling off something like an aggressive warped reality type style with Teddies or mature Nephilims and Zoraida and all that probably only takes like a 6 or 7 skill to do properly. But if you play at a 10 or a 9 and you're pulling off a 6 to 7 skill strategy and your opponent has, a good crew and they're really good as well and they can play at like a higher level than that, then I think that they can just beat you and there's nothing you can do because you can only be so good with the tools you have. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, that kind of playstyle doesn't suit me because I think, to be frank, I think I'm better than that. I think I'm better than that playstyle, and I have a better chance to win if I go to a harder slash more controlled playstyle than something like I'm going to scout a bunch of Nephilims and hope it works. But sometimes that's a good strategy if you're playing against somebody who you think is a stronger opponent. Doing something kind of crazy and that puts a lot of pressure on them to play well can obviously work out. That's why things like Misaki and Vix are really annoying to play against because it's just that high variance, it puts a lot of stress on me to play it properly as opposed to the enemy. But I digress from that. So Warp Reality, I don't play Dreamer, so I don't give a shit about Nightmares. I don't really care about this upgrade doesn't do anything for me right away. I don't feel like, oh, I need this upgrade. It's still a soul stone. It's not cheap. It takes a slot, which is 1,000 face slot a lot of the time. That's kind of shit that I feel from it. I don't think I play the masters that would use the upgrade as much. I'm thinking of my Lilith list. I'm like, what would I really want to scout forward that aggressively? I mean, I guess you could technically give it to a minion. You could from the shadows, and then you could try to swap Nekoma with it, like turn 1. You get a lot of range doing that. Still costing a soul stone. And I guess then the nightmare comes back. Yeah, great. I could buy it. I can buy it maybe on minions in some scenarios. It wouldn't be probably awful. I just don't love it. I'm sure in like maybe corner, like if it was corner squatters, and you wanted to start on the markers in the side, then maybe spending 2 soul stones to get a bunch of free movement on a minion to stand on them would be pretty good. You could do it to like Waldgeist, and they could start on it. But you could also, well, if you took Zoraida or if you took a Swamp Fiend, you could take Hex Among You and do the same shit too, I guess. But that's actually, that's a stone there, so different. Really, do you want to take Serena? I guess at that point. So there's definitely some play with it, but I guess Serena's got to be worth it because if you're spending 2 soul stones on the upgrade, you're spending about 9 soul stones on the whole package. So is she doing enough to make her worth all those stones you're spending? I'll have to try her. I really do think it comes to how she is on the board. I think you should play her an aggressive playstyle. I don't see why you would put her back because she doesn't come in slow, which is nice. So she hasn't, like, if you have a lot of black blood things, it's nice because if she does die, when she comes back, she can probably do the tendril attack. So the tendril attack's probably good in the sense that even if she gets replaced back to her deployment zone, she can probably still be very active with her attacking because she can just go through tendril things. Being disguised is nice. Like I guess people, I guess she can take her own upgrade. All right, so she could just take her own upgrade, and she can be the one that scouts forward. And now she's a nightmare, so she can target herself with Black Blood, then give herself Black Blood to something else if she wants to. And now she becomes this scouting black-blooded model that if it can't be charged and if it dies, and Lilith can always swap to her, or just being like in things like Squatters' Rights or even Symbols of Authority. She's just annoying because like you eventually have to kill her, right? In a sense, or else she's gonna start getting things and dropping markers. But is she worth the being 6 defense, possibly healable, 7 wounds? Is she and not being chargeable? Is she worth trying to kill only to have her come back? Now, in a sense, also I keep saying that, but also you got to think of it. If she dies turn 3 in corner, she's probably not doing much else the rest of the game. So it's almost like she's not there because she just deploys in her deployment zone. Walks twice, and now she maybe gets a tendrils off last turn, but she's probably not doing anything super special. Yeah. Yeah, right. So first glances, I'm not like super into her. Maybe with Lilith, if I have enough black blood things. If you give her black blood, then Lilith can start healing her. She can give other models black blood, which is nice because they become immune to black blood, but also they become healable by Lilith. So I don't know what model I would take. I guess you could start her next to like the Hooded Rider and give him black blood if you wanted. I'm not sure if that's any use at all, but whatever. It would be healable by Lilith. It's actually pretty cool. But the thing is, like, you got to take her, right? And what are you doing with her? I don't know what she's doing. I guess who does she replace? Does she replace Doppelganger? Does she replace Lilitu? That's the kind of the slot she's taking up, and I guess it all depends. I mean, the fact that you give her your own upgrade and swap her with Lilith to get like Nekoma up there can be really nice because she's fast enough. Because you don't have to move her because she deploys from the shadows. You don't have to move her turn 1. So if you do the swap, which I mean you're giving away the swap early, but you do the swap like early. Now Serena can move again and get right back to where she was. So you're not really losing a ton of movement by doing it, I guess you could say. Like, she could get right back up there where Lilith and everybody is. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'll try her. I, I she probably plays better with masters I don't use, to be fair. And I don't like the whole Nephilim scouting shit. But I told you why. I don't necessarily think it's awful. I just don't love it. Um, not really my playstyle. I don't feel good doing it. And hey, maybe one day I'll do it and I'll be like, haha, I'm the best. But not my favorite playstyle. But yeah, I mean, she's still 7 stones of obnoxiousness. I played against her once, but I just ignored her because I was like, I don't give a shit what you do. I'll just kill the rest of your crew. Um, but I think if you use her disguised well, the fact that, if you stand, now yes, Yasunori can just jump over you, but if you stand in front of a model that can't fly and you're like just out of their charge range, they have to walk and hit you. They can't charge. Like, it's a lot of AP wasted if you think about it. Obviously, don't just let her die instantly, but I think disguised is underrated sometimes about how annoying it is to deal with it. So yeah, that's my opinion on Serena. I'll try her maybe in Lothless. She won't make Kaladi at all, but definitely not in my Kaladi's. Lothless, I can see potential in certain. I think she's one of those models to me that I'm trying to get better about identifying schemes and strats where she'd be really good in. Because a lot of people tend to take like the same crew and just say, all right, this crew is good enough to do everything. I'm just going to kind of solo it because I'm comfortable with it. But I think to start maximizing against the best players, you have to start saying, well, I'm going to take this model for X, Y, and Z reason. And the thing is, you have to be practiced enough to know when to take her in that and identify it and be good enough with her. So sometimes it can be hard to be like, you have to play enough games to know when she should be used and then how to use her. And sometimes it can be tough, and sometimes it's why a lot of people just back down to models they've used before because they're like, well, Serena might be better than Lilitu in this situation because it's, I don't know, some corner flank strat. I don't know, whatever reason she's more useful. But I'm going to take Lilitu because, I don't know, because I'm so used to using her and it just feels good. Stuff like that. That's kind of my general thought on it. And why people do the things they do. But I'm trying to get away from that where every crew for a scheme pool for a game is really crafted. It's almost like I'm gonna only spend a minute on this because I don't want to get, this is like another video type topic. I don't want to, this is not Warhammer where you're perfecting the crew that needs to run 5 games of anything, any scenario and win. What this is every game of Malifaux, you think of your opponent, your schemes, your strats, the table, everything, and it's a culmination of here is one crew that I think is the best chance I have to win this game. It doesn't matter if this is a once in 1,000 game crew. It doesn't matter if it's, if there's just happen to be terrain that's really good for a certain model for whatever reason. It's all you need to, all this crew needs to do is be best for this game, assuming you can play it to the level it needs to be played at. That's where kind of like the disconnect comes from, why I tell people to get comfortable with their models and not change too much, because until you're comfortable with everything and can make a crew that's really good, I can give you the best crew for the scenario, but if you don't know how to play the models, does it really matter then? Because you're going to lose. You're not going to play it to the point that it is the best crew. So there's a point in Malifaux where you're like, all right, I'm going to play the same models. I get used to them. I know how to play. And then there's this part where you're like, all right, I know how to play. I know how to play with different models. Now I'm going to start crafting these individual crews, and I'm going to be good enough and experienced enough to mold, to work that crew perfect as well as it needs to be for this game to win. Now, a lot of times, if you just go to step 1 and get really good, or step 2 and get really good with a crew, a basic crew that's really solid, you can probably win 4 games in a tournament. It's just those, when you play those really good people, that you kind of want the edge, and having the edge of them being, I'm going to take a basic crew that's really good, and you're saying, I'm going to take a crew that's amazing for this particular circumstance, and I'm going to be really good with it. That's when you get the edge. So I think like that's where I see her fitting in these niche scenarios. So yeah, she's definitely worth a shot. I don't like the basic. I just said I don't like the one gameplay with her, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do it. Thanks.